Okay, Dacayana Escrima Beginner's Guide. So you may have just started out in Dacayana and you might be wanting to think, how do we start the class? How do I hold the stick? How do I stand? So let's give you some tips. So first thing first, we call it a salute. So both hands on the end of the stick from here. Okay, we bring our right foot into our left, okay, and then we bring our right hand to the hip and the left hand on the top, okay, with the palms facing back to us. We do a slight bow, okay, stick goes up and stick goes down. And that's your basic salutation, how we start class and finish class. We also use between partners, so we're training with a partner, okay, a brief bow where you bring your right hand across onto your heart, stick up like that, and a slight bow just to show respect to each of your training partners. The next thing we need to think about is holding the stick. How do we hold the stick? Okay, a big common fault when people start doing the Escrima or any Carly system out there will hold the stick right at the end here. So this is a fault because one, I can't use the end of the stick, which we class as a point. We can't use that as a weapon, and also as well there's a risk of the stick coming out of our hand. So we always say a fist away from the end of the stick. So as long as you've got a fist away there, so you can see the stick there, you've got this, you use the point as a striking tool, and obviously there you've got better position for the grip of the stick just in case you lose it. Okay, the next thing we need to use is the stance. So our stance would be our feet go in line. And this is classed as the Adam stance, which is like our ready stance to start from. Okay, so feet double shoulder width apart. Okay, feet facing in the same direction. Bend both knees down. Okay, and then your left hand goes on top. Okay, so if you're doing a stick with empty hand, such as this, for instance, if we were doing basic angles, focusing strikes, or single stick drills, we start this way here. If it was a stick with a knife drill, we put the knife underneath, as you'll see in future videos. So over here, stick here, and then hand over the top there. Next thing we need to think about is when we block a stick. When we block a stick, we make sure that we keep the hand here and the stick, okay, this as a 90 degree. So it's most critical that we keep this as a 90 degree here, not like this when we're blocking. So we just make sure we're blocked this way, we block this way, so it's a 90 degree. And it's the same process is if we're striking a stick this way, striking a stick this way, that we're keeping it at a 90 degree angle rather than leading it with our wrist and our thumb. Okay, this is completely wrong, and you're liable to obviously going to damage your own wrist, or sticks going to come out your hand. So good firm grip this way. And the last little tip I can give you is when we're practicing disarms. You'll practice disarms in classes, okay, whether you're practicing a Dacayana system disarms or some other Carly disarms as well. Make sure if we drop this, if you get this, your stick disarmed and it goes to the floor, it's my responsibility to pick my stick up, not the person who's just done the disarm, as we could both go down and pick the stick up and bash heads and accidents can happen. So we bend down, pick that stick up, and that's our stick that we did. So this is your Dacayana Beginner's Guide to getting started.